Well, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to deliver the country's statement at the G20 Leaders Summit in Rio De Janeiro in Brazil today. Ramaphosa will focus on fighting hunger and poverty and the reform of the institutions of global governance. Brazil, which is chairing the global platform, is hosting the gathering in Rio de Janeiro. Let's chat to SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena about this gathering, the importance of it, and, of course, the moment where South Africa takes over the presidency, which we will see happening either today or tomorrow. Sophie, good morning to you. Let's perhaps talk about the significance of all of this and perhaps South Africa's ambitions with its presidency.
Well, today is the start of the summit, and I think the focus will be on the agenda of the summit. As you know, that Brazil, as the chair, took a decision to adopt a theme that looks at building a better world, and therefore issues will revolve around development, transformation of financial system, transformation of the UN, ending the conflicts around the world, and also issues of climate change. South Africa will not be taking over today or tomorrow, but on the 1st of December. That's when South Africa will take over as the chair of the G20. And we know that South Africa has also chosen a theme that will look at development, particularly in the developing South, that will include issues such as fighting poverty, fighting the impact of climate change, and also building a better world. And we know that President Ramaphosa will have a statement in terms of when South Africa is taking over after the 1st of December to really outline or give clear indication the preparations to the build-up to that hosting of the G20. But today he is also going to participate in delivering the statement on behalf of South Africa. But also of interest, it will the AU that will be taking its seat for the first time, and we expect the AU chair to deliver the speech on behalf of the African continent.
Yeah, I mean, the G20, obviously Brazil have outlined what their priorities are, and that's basically social inclusion, global reform and sustainability. I imagine South Africa would follow very much so and pick up from where they're leaving off. But one of the other issues is also the state that the world is in right now and the wars that are raging. And we've just seen what's happened in Ukraine with soon-to-be former President Joe Biden basically saying that he's, for the very first time, authorized the Ukrainian military to use the system that the U.S. has funded. That's, of course, the long-range U.S. missiles to help defend its forces in Kursk region of Russia. Tell us what's happening there.
Well, we saw that announcement yesterday from the media in the United States of America that President Biden has decided to give a go-ahead for Ukraine to use the U.S. long-range weapons. And we saw some reports that other countries that are supporting Ukraine within NATO are contemplating to take a similar move. And therefore, we saw the reaction from the Russian Federation, and particularly the president saying that this is a provocation, and that then we saw a clip where earlier on he had indicated that should America and its allies within NATO take such a decision, U.S. will regret, because and then that would mean that direct provocation and fight between the U.S. and Russia or the entire NATO group. And therefore, he indicated also that means he is not going to rule out the use of nuclear weapons. But on the other hand, we have the NATO member countries saying that this decision is taken because they saw North Korea moving towards the border of Russia with the intention to assist Russia in fighting Ukraine. And therefore, we are at a very critical moment. It's not clear yet what the president-elect is going to say about this matter, but Joe Biden, a lame duck, but taking such a massive decision, many people are saying he is trying to salvage his legacy. As you know, that he did fail to stop the war in Ukraine. He has also failed to stop the war in the Middle East. So he is trying to do something as he is about to leave office mid-January next year. And therefore, it's all about legacy. We saw that happening with Bush. We saw that happening with even Obama, with Bush with the war in Ukraine, Obama with the war in Libya. But today, those countries are just almost safe states.
All right, Sophie, let's leave it there for this morning. We'll keep watching that story, any more developments. But certainly 2 months left of the Biden presidency. He is not keeping quiet for those 2 months and not making moves. So that we certainly are seeing there. Sophie Mokoena, our international news editor, weighing in on the G20 and, of course, the latest developments with the Ukraine-Russia situation.